What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, so we are going to continue our coverage over Mark Waid's run on Daredevil, and we do pick up with Volume 2 from his second part on his run on the character. Now, by this point in Mark's run, Daredevil no longer lives in New York. He lives in San Francisco. But with Volume 2, it does pick up right after a certain Marvel event better known as Original Sin. So with that event right there, a lot of different characters began to learn some dark secrets about themselves or people who are close to them. And when it came to Matt Murdock, he learned a very dark secret about his father. You see, when it comes to Matt Murdock, he always looked up to his father. He practically worshipped his father. He believed that his father was a great man no matter what. Except thanks to Original Sin, Matt learned that his father was abusive. Now, he wasn't abusive to Matt, he was abusive to his mother, Grace. Now, when it comes to Matt Murdock, he tells us that he does not remember his mother that much because she was gone by the time he was properly able to remember things. But when it comes to Matt's mother, Grace, she always been around because she became a nun at a church nearby that Matt would go to. Now, she did change her name to Maggie, but she did a great job to look over her son to make sure that he was always okay, always there in his corner, even though he technically had no idea that was his mother until later on. But when it comes to Matt Murdock, he can't believe in that his dad was abusive. Was that the reason why his mom left them behind? And so the best he can do is go find Maggie, or Grace, his mother, to go ask her, why did she leave? And so you have Matt go to the church that Maggie works at, except when he arrives, he can't find Maggie, where he is informed that Maggie is no longer there. Matter of fact, they tell Matt that she got arrested. Now, Matt is wondering what in the world did his mom do to get arrested? And so he goes to the prison to talk to his mother, where she informs Matt why she got arrested. See, her and some friends got word that there was a military base nearby that was doing some chemical warfare testing, which is illegal across the world. The problem was the media was not saying anything at all about this military base. And so when it came to Maggie and her friends, they felt like they had the right to get the military involved to hopefully shut down that military base and that testing. Except while you had the ladies walking around the place, they got caught by some security guards and then they got arrested. Now, here's the catch. They did not get a trial at all. Matter of fact, they got told because they committed crimes on this military base, they are going to be sent over to Wakanda. Now, Matt is wondering why in the world are these four ladies being sent over to Wakanda for a small crime like this? Like, one, they did not break into the place, and two, they did not share any information at all, which means this should not be a huge case at all. But again, when it comes to Maggie, she has no idea why. And so she's forced to leave, and Matt is wondering what in the world is going on. And so you have Matt beginning to do his own investigation, except every single person he tries to talk to, they can't give any kind of information over to Matt. And it's not like because, oh, they want to make sure it stays a secret. No, because they have no idea what in the world is going on. And so Matt's all like, why are these four ladies being sent over to Wakanda for? It makes no sense. And so you have Matt say, you know what? Let me go talk to T'Challa. The problem is, though, around this time, T'Challa is no longer in Wakanda. Matter of fact, he's no longer the ruler of Wakanda. Shuri is. And so the Avengers have no idea where T'Challa is at. Now, Matt realized that there is a possibility that he might be able to get some information from Wakanda's embassy in New York. And so you have Matt head straight over there. And he hides in one room where he's able to listen in on every single conversation that's going on in that building. And as soon as he hears one thing about his mother, he makes sure to focus all his hearing on that one conversation to hopefully learn what in the world is going on here. And so the two people who were having the conversation was the U.S. general and also a lieutenant from Wakanda. But we begin to learn that many years ago, the U.S. government sold a chunk of land over to Wakanda, which means the military base we saw earlier does not belong to the U.S., it belongs to Wakanda. Now, here's the thing. These two guys, they made a deal with one another. If the U.S. military is able to keep the media away from that military base, in return, Wakanda will share information about weapons that they are currently building, which means the U.S. government or the U.S. military would be able to create the same weapons that they are creating, which does tell Matt, okay, these two guys are basically the two men in charge of what's happening to his mother and her friends. And so you have Matt try his best to stop the two guys, but to also free his mother. The problem is that this guy is from Wakanda, and usually people from Wakanda are always prepared for almost anything. See, let's not forget, the entire world knows that Matt Murdock is Daredevil, and with them getting blood samples from each of the women, they learned that Matt Murdock is related to Maggie, and so they knew that sooner or later he would be there and try to free them. And so he put in different kinds of equipment to help give him the edge over Daredevil, to the point where he was able to actually stop Daredevil and dump his body outside the embassy. But before he does that, he tells Matt, "You are too late. The four women, including your mother, were already put on a plane and they're heading over to Wakanda for their punishment." And so as we dive into the second chapter for today's video, we do pick up with Matt Murdock with Maria Hill. Now, here's the thing. Around this time, Maria was the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. But apparently, S.H.I.E.L.D. owed Matt a favor. And Matt says, listen, you guys owe me one. And so to help me out, I need you guys to drop me off into an area that's nearby Wakanda. Now, for Maria, this is literally a suicide mission. And the reason why? Because Wakanda is the most advanced country in the entire world, which means that if they try to go through this plan, Matt Murdock is most likely going to fail. But Matt says, listen, I'll be okay. Now we also come to find out that Matt brought some kind of crate with him, but we have no idea what in the world is inside that crate. Either way, him and the crate begin a skydive down into the area near Wakanda. And so when it comes to Wakanda, they're always watching out for the areas nearby their country as a way to make sure their country is protected. And so when it came to Daredevil and also that great skydiving, their sensors picked up on that very quickly. And so you have our young soldiers here arrive at the location that Matt had landed at. Now at first they can't find Matt, but then you have Matt try his best to fight against these guards. Now, the fight does not last that long, where at first you do have both sides being able to go back and forth, but unfortunately for Matt, he gets captured by the guards of Wakanda, where they do take him over to the Queen of Wakanda. Now we kind of find out that Matt Murdock wanted to get captured by the guards because he realized that he would not be able to go up against an entire nation like Wakanda, especially Shuri as the Black Panther. But he also realized that he is a great lawyer. And so what Matt did was he began to leave clues behind that could help him out when it comes to bringing down Shuri. And you see what I mean here in a moment, because you didn't have Matt ask Shuri, hey, listen, were you also involved with what was happening with that military base back in America? She said yes. Were you also involved with the idea of arresting those women? She said yes. And so you have Matt say, that's all I need to hear. But I have one more question left for you. Did your guards find my crate? And we kind of find out inside the crate was the U.S. general. See, Matt left enough clues behind to prove that the general was doing some deals behind closed doors, deals that he was not allowed to do with Wakanda, and also left enough clues behind to prove that Wakanda was doing some illegal things in that military base. And so sooner or later, the U.S. Army and the U.S. government are going to come here to Wakanda looking for some answers. And so you have Matt saying, listen, this can all go away if you do one thing for me. Let me go and my mom and her friends go as well. And I'll just leave. And there's a possibility that all of this can go away. But if you don't, you're going to have some more problems down the road with the U.S. government. And so Shuri has no choice but to agree, but to also give Matt and his mom and her friends a ride back home to America. Now, after that, you have Matt, his mom, and her friends get on a plane back to America. But it does lead into a conversation between Matt and his mom, wondering, did Dad actually hit you? Was Dad abusive? Except we come to find out, his dad was not abusive at all. Matter of fact, the reason why Grace left, because of postpartum. See, a lot of women go through this after giving birth. And when it came to her, it just built up on depression and anxiety when it came to her being a good mother to Matt. And even though you had different people, including Jack, telling her that she was a great mother, she always thought to herself that she was not a good mother. But then later on, depression and anxiety just kept growing and growing to the point where she believed that Matt came into their lives to ruin their marriage, to take Jack away from her, because Jack was spending a lot more time with Matt when he was a baby. And there was a moment where she tried to attack Jack and Matt, but Jack was able to protect Matt from his mother, which goes back to the image that Matt saw in Original Sin about seeing his dad being abusive. His dad was not being abusive. His dad was being a protector. And after that moment, Grace ran away and ran to the church. Now, even though she was able to turn her life around, she said, it was just too hard for me to go back to you, because after what I did not have the right to be your mom again. Now, the story does end on a great note, because she tells Matt she also felt like she could not come back into his life because she believed that he hated her. But he said, how can I hate you if I never knew you? Because Mom, you left when I was a baby. I never understood why you left. Dad never told me anything at all. And so I just believe you left for unknown reasons. But now I know why. I fully understand. And you have Matt forgive his mother. And now they're able to have a bond with one another. Matt has a parent back in his life again, because Jack has been gone for many years and Matt felt alone, but now he has someone in his family. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.